It's just 3/4 of a mile around, and for 2004 the track has been resurfaced. The lap record has been shattered in qualifying, and it should make tonight's race tighter and tougher than ever. We're live from Richmond in Virginia. It's the SunTrust Indy Challenge. Hello and welcome to the latest round of the Indy Racing League. We're in for close wheel-to-wheel racing as well as some high drama if previous races here are anything to go by. To give an insight into the race, I'm joined by our regular two IRL experts, Paul Cherry and Christopher Tate. Well, I'll be talking to them in a minute, but first let's check out the headlines. Elio Castroneves shatters the lap record held by his former teammate Gilles de Ferran. He's on the pole with 171 miles an hour average lap. Indianapolis 500 winner Buddy Rice lines up on the front row, while Britain's Mark Taylor records his best qualifying position to date in third place, while the other Brits struggle, with Dan Wheldon starting right near the back. Now, you join us here in the studio. Gentlemen, we have some 20 minutes to go before we get to the race itself, so a little bit more time than usual to have a bit of a preamble up front. And I have to say, the thing that catches my eye on the news wires at the moment is, Christopher, IRL and kart talking again about a possible amalgamation sometime in the future, the two disciplines that have seemingly been at war for so long.
Well, it's a long time since 1996 now, when the great divide occurred and our IRL went off to go and do its ovals only thing. But yes, since the Indianapolis 500, though it was a great race on the track, I think there were some business issues for the IRL. It made them realise that perhaps they really ought to be talking to kart. And Roger Penske, the great team patron and driving force in many ways behind a lot of what's happened in the IRL, said to Jerry Forsyth and Kevin Kalkoven, who run Champ Car, kart, the open wheel racing series, that I think maybe we should all get together. And on Thursday this week they did get together at a hotel on the East Coast, and they all sat down and had a chat. And really, you can believe what you like about what came out of that meeting, but at least they're talking, because in the end, I suspect that you're going to have one series in America. Commercially, of course, the Americans do run very commercial race meetings, and NASCAR must be sneaking up as far as they're concerned. It's got to be in the back of their mind that Champ Car and IRL maybe in the future need to come in together. But Kevin Coven actually did say it was only exploratory talks. Paul, have you heard anything? You've got your ear to the floor most of the time.
It was indeed that. It was a polite conversation between the major players in the two big single-seater series. Both of them are concerned that NASCAR has completely and utterly eroded away the commercial TV packages, and all racing in America now is focused on NASCAR. So they both have a lot of work to pull each other together to get the sponsors back into the series and keep the current manufacturers, because don't forget, Honda and Toyota now have NASCAR programs.
Interesting situation indeed. Of course, you can watch this space and you'll find out all about it here on Sky Sports. Now then, as I said earlier, the race is not due to start for a little while, so let's just recap on the season so far.
And there is the green flag, and the 19 make that the 2004 season underway here at Homestead. 4 wide, headed to the corner.
Wow, that was a pretty good start. Some of the guys in the back got a big jump, though, as they got on the gas a little early. It looked pretty dicey back there when they were 4 or 5 wide. But look at Thomas Scheckter already to the outside.
Remember, this year there's an additional point for leading the most laps. Last year it was 2 points. This year it is 3. And Thomas Scheckter likes the lead. He's led a lot of them.
All of the drivers said this was going to be at least a 2-lane racetrack, but they didn't think it was going to be 3. Look at them back there in the back, though. They're 4 wide back there going down the front straightaway.
Thomas Scheckter last year led 491 laps. That was second only to the season champion Scott Dixon. Right now, Rice is still up in front, but he has all he can handle right now in that yellow number 4.
And you can see, guys, they're moving up and down the racetrack. The outside group does seem to be just as fast. And you can see coming off the corners, they don't have to go clear out to the outside. They can stay down in the middle of the racetrack, which, of course, Brian Barnhart has warned them for a long time. You have to do that. You can't go up to the top side and move back down. You're blocking, and he won't stand for that. Let's see if we can take a look. He just got a little bit, he just got loose up in the middle of the corner.
Got the marbles up there.
Right in the middle of the corner. The back end just came around. It didn't look like he was real high on the racetrack, but the running out there in that second groove, maybe 3 grooves out, maybe a little wider than anybody else, but the back end just flat came around on him.
Oh, a crash coming in the pits. Somebody hit the wall coming in the pits.
It's one of the target.
And we can't see which number it is.
Wow, what a...
It's Dixon.
Scott Dixon.
Oh, my.
He just was coming in too fast. Back end just got around on him. Just got loose. He was running right beside another car. Oh, there was some contact there, no question about it. Manning came up and ran into it. No question that he was below the white line. He came up, he tagged Alex Barron and put him up. Let's see if we can see it. Look at it. He was below the white line. The left side tires got on that white line. The car wiggled. He moved up and he moved right into Barron. Oh, well,
he lost it. He lost it. He stalled it.
Oh, man. What a tough break for that young man.
All right, white flag out. There it is. 1 lap to go. He's going to do the inside. Look at this on the inside.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Look at this. He's got him by a nose on the inside, side by side. The Penske teammates for the win.
These guys,
well, he's got the shortest way around on the inside. He snook at him, thinking he was going to go high. Ducks to the inside. Hornish is going to win this thing.
Hornish is going to win.
Hornish is going to win it, and he does. Well, we're going green. 20 cars starting from the pole position. It was an all front row from Andretti Green. The second row was all Team Penske. The third row all Target Chip Ganassi. And the Rookie of the Year 1 year ago is out in front, his first pole position. It doesn't take long to get around this racetrack. It's only 1.6 kilometers or 1 mile. And they'll go 200 circuits. Now keep in mind, because of aerodynamics, they've actually slowed these cars just a bit.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, Hornish. Hornish was riding in second position. Did he make wall contact? Looks like that rear wing may be just askew.
He pinched the car.
Down low. He got down low. He pinched the car and
pinched
it came
the
around.
car trying to get around Scott
Not
Sharp.
a real hard hit.
These guys keep very meticulous records. Oh, look at
contact.
this.
Something apparently happened. Oh, look at that. This is what happened. Schechter saw that crash, backed out of the throttle, and got hit from the rear.
See right here, I've heard it. Franchitti, darn it. Franchitti just absolutely, he was on the brakes. He tried to move to the outside to miss him. Just couldn't do it.
This is the shot that we were on. Look at the closing speed.
This is the one that makes it look so bad. Look at him. He comes up there. He tries to move to the outside. You can see the front end moving. He was hard on the brakes, but he couldn't get stopped. He couldn't get to the outside.
It looked like from that angle that Schechter got hit a second time by Franchitti.
Yeah.
And here he comes off the corner. Brian Howard has the checkered flag, and the checkered flag goes to Tony Kanaan for the second straight year. Dixon takes second. Weldon comes home third. And we look for the green flag. There it is, and we are underway. A car already having some trouble at the top of your screen.
Dan Weldon got a great start. Greg Ray did not get such a good start and fell back into third place going into turn number 1.
Whoa! And he's got another problem right there. Whoa! That was the It's Hornish. Hornish in the wall. This is the second race this season where he's crashed. Oh yeah. Right there was contact.
And that's exactly why Hornish got in the fence, because Mira drove him in
moved
there.
Over and made contact with Hornish. Oh, hang on. Oh!
Just as we're riding along, Tor Takagi got on the inside of him. He got up in the dirt, could not get the thing brought back down, and nailed it into the fence. And you can see the brake lines are broken. So if you're wondering why he didn't stop that thing, it's because once you hit the wall like that, the brake lines, and you can't. The brakes are of absolutely no use.
And here comes your checkered flags for Weldon and for Honda, for Andretti Green. As they come down the front straightaway, all eyes on the starter. The pace car is off, and the green flag is out. Wow, and a car to the inside, almost to the inside wall, as they went 3 abreast down the front straightaway.
3 and 4 abreast, trying to gain that advantage that we talked about going into turn 1. You can't win it on turn 1, but you can gain a lot of spots. We saw guys there moving 3 and 4 wide, trying to get that advantage.
Oh,
yellow flag.
That is Foyt.
You commented just a couple laps ago how close he came to the outside wall. Well,
He came a little closer that time.
That time he got too close. That's right. Oh, moisture.
Moisture
Rain.
on the racetrack.
Well, that's not a good thing. Oh, another crash. Two cars got together.
One is one of the Red Bull cars. The yellow flag is out.
Wow.
What is P.J. Jones. The 5th yellow of the afternoon.
Oh, we got a crash going into the pit lane.
The pit entrance. In the
Two
pit
cars.
Entrance. Looks like McGee and Hornish. Is it Hornish involved? 3 cars involved.
Oh my gosh, there's 3 cars involved. Hornish is one of them.
No, it looks like
Greg Ray. Greg Ray is one.
Manning is the other one.
Manning and Hornish are the other 2, I believe. What a terrible, terrible break for Sam. What did we just say? We said you never want to go to the back of the pack because too many things can happen back there.
Oh, we got a crash. Another yellow, our 7th of the day.
Marty Roth.
We're going to see the checkered flag and the yellow flag together. Have 3 abreast across the start-finish line, or just 2 abreast, and they're going to let Buddy lead this thing. There's the checkered flag and the yellow flag, and Buddy Rice, the youngster from Arizona, has won the 88th running of the Indianapolis 500 as he crosses the line. 5 cars right together there.
Wow.
So Rice takes it over Kanaan, Weldon, Herta, Junqueira, and the chant begins. Let's just savor the moment. There's the milk. The green flag is flying, and we are underway. Still side by side through that corner. Now Buddy Rice has the lead over Tony Kanaan.
Oh, he just smoked her up in there.
Car.
Yeah, he just smoked her up in there and ran into the back of Alex Barron. Got a run on him.
And we have a crash. The 2nd yellow of the afternoon. That is A.J. Foyt.
Yeah, Franchitti having a very good run. Rice,
Another yellow.
Somebody else into the wall. That's one of the Red Bull cars.
Is that 52 or 51?
Can't see from this angle which one it is.
Now, if that's the 52 of Carpenter, could that be an aftermath of the contact with Foyt?
It is.
It is 52.
Oh, we got
There's a problem. This brings out the yellow.
Boy, oh boy, that's what he's got to do. And that may be what. Oh!
Contact. Oh, they kept it off the wall. Did they all keep it off the wall? I don't believe it.
Harnish barely hit the wall.
I don't believe it. Did the yellow come out? As close as it is, it will not be one of the closer finishes here at Texas. As Kanaan picks up the victory, his 2nd of the season. He won at Phoenix. Franchitti goes 2nd.
So Tony Kanaan leading the IRL Series M, but Dan Weldon proving to be a star of the Indy Racing League this year. Dario Franchitti showing up well too last weekend. We'll find out if Dario can score his first win of 2004 after the break.
July.
You're back for the SunTrust Indy Challenge, of course, from Virginia. Now then, if I can have a quick word with our boys here. Mark Taylor, he's a rookie. He's qualified on the 2nd row in 3rd place. Paul, if I can come to you first. Superb qualifying performance. The best of his career so far.
Yeah, terrific thing. He's had a lot of bad luck this year, crashes that weren't always his fault. This is a great performance in a very difficult track. This is really a hard place to do it.
3 different engines right up there at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear people say it's the Honda domination over with, but what do you put it down to?
Well, 2 schools of thought really. One is that maybe they really have made an effort and Chevy's come along, but I think it's more likely it's such a short lap, you know, 3/4 of a mile, that it's not really about outright engine power. Yes, they ran away at Indy, but not here.
Let's talk about this track then. They've repaved it, re-tarmacked it in English, made it a lot smoother, ironed out some of the bumps. What's that going to do to it as far as tonight's race is concerned?
Well, as we've seen with the qualifying times, it's just put the speeds up straight away. So I think we're in for a very, very exciting race.
What about the rest of the Brits? I mean, Darren Manning obviously is qualified down on the 6th row, but Dan Weldon, who's second in the series at the moment, so he's going for a championship at the moment, in a bit of a mess at the back end of the grid.
Yes, well, Dan just said after qualifying that his car was very loose, understeer to you and I, and he just felt that he just couldn't get the thing to grip properly. But I'm sure they will have got it right for the race now.
Okay.
So he was some way back, yeah.
Well, let's take a look now. We can actually look at the grid to find out where everybody is in order for the SunTrust Indy Challenge.
First for Toyota this season, the 5th overall of his Indy Racing League career. Starting outside the front row, Buddy Rice, the winner at Indianapolis, his 3rd time in the front row this season. And there's your defending Menards Infinity Pro champion. His best start of the year for Mark Taylor. Sam Hornish Jr. starts outside of row 2. The 3rd row on the inside, Thomas Scheckter looking for a victory to go with that one he had a couple of years ago in Michigan. And outside the defending series champion Scott Dixon, he won this race 1 year ago, leading every lap. In row 4 on the inside is Brian Herta for the Andretti Green team. And outside on a race-to-race basis, Vito Mira drives for the Ray Hall Letterman team. In row 5 on the inside, it's Tora Takaki in the Mo Nunn Pioneer entry, and Tony Kanaan, who is the points leader, a 2-time winner so far this season. There is Darren Manning starting inside of row 6 and outside Dario Franchitti. In the 7th row on the inside, Kasuga Matsura driving for Panasonic, and rookie Ed Carpenter, 2 rookies in row 7. In the 8th row on the inside, it's Alex Barron driving for the Red Bull Team Cheever entry. And outside, Adrian Fernandez, the driver and car owner of number 5. He starts in 16th position. Row 9, in his 88th IRL start, is Scott Sharp, former champion, and Felipe Giafoni, a former Rookie of the Year. In the 10th row, Greg Ray, a former champion in the Indy Racing League from Plano, Texas. And outside, Dan Weldon, who's second in the point standings from Emberton, England. The 11th row is A.J. Foyt Jr. and former champion in Al Unser Jr.
Well, they could be worse for Dan Weldon. Of course, he could be where Al Unser Jr. is. But 20th place for Dan Weldon. It can be done from back there, Christopher, but and Paul, of course, but will it be done from there?
It's hard here because it's such a short track, but pit position, they could move him up.
Well, as you can see, these are live pictures from Virginia, from Richmond in Virginia, and we can cross, I think, now to our trackside commentators, Gary Lee and Larry Rice.
There's Mark Taylor looking back from his 3rd starting car, and there is Thomas Scheckter. He'll be starting in 5th position.
This is a good racetrack for him, too.
There's Brian Herta, be starting in 7th position. Scott Sharp, actually truly on board with Scott Sharp. You're actually looking, there's a tip of his nose inside his helmet. There's Darren Manning. Now Manning has the red helmet and Scott Dixon has the blue helmet, so you can tell those two apart when we go to the on-board shots.
Yeah, Kenny Brack did test here for Ray Hall Letterman, but he was fast. He was under 16 seconds. He was one of the fastest guys that tested, but he didn't feel like physically he could handle it. He got tired after only about 15 laps, and he knew he couldn't run 250 laps.
They're saying now he could be back for the final 2 or 3 races of this season.
Yeah, and it's hard to explain to anybody how you have to get in shape, how good a shape you have to be in. These guys are truly athletes, and they have to be in tremendous shape to manage to pull 5 Gs. Remember, they're going to do that for 2 hours and do it almost constantly.
That just simply means that they are 5 times their weight in the cockpit, and what really is taxing is against the neck.
Well, imagine taking a bowling ball and trying to pull it up with your neck 250 times. I don't think you could do that, and that's exactly what these guys are having to do.
Johnny Rutherford, the 3-time Indianapolis 500 champion in the Chevrolet pickup Pace truck. They should get the green the next time by, so we'll see him pulling off as the lights go off on the Pace vehicle.
These guys are going to have to use their heads. Take it easy till it gets spinned out a little bit, because right now is a terrible time to have a crash.
It's a good time to tear up half the field if you're not careful.
Exactly.
Well, there's the start, and side by side, look at Buddy Rice trying to get a jump, but Elio takes the lead.
Well, he finally gave in, let him go. Sam Hornish stayed on the outside. He's one of the few that stayed on the outside down there through turns 1 and 2.
Taylor still rides in third. Hornish is fourth.
Here comes Schechter looking to the inside. There goes Hornish to the inside.
Oh, and he got the nose taken off on that car.
Yeah, he thought better of it. Schechter now to the outside. Is he going to stay out there? Yeah, he does. See him shifting gears right there.
They almost get together there.
And he can't maintain it coming off the corner. He had to get out of the throttle and let him go. Now then he's got company on the inside.
That's Manning. No, that's
Scott Dixon on the inside.
Scott Dixon on the inside.
So Scott Dixon got by Schechter once he got.
Here comes Schechter on the high side. And Schechter almost lost it.
You can see him get loose. You can see him steering that car. He did a great job to save it as that thing wanted to go away on him.
Man, and look at Kanaan now on the high side of Dixon.
Well, Kanaan has really come on strong. He started deep in the field, and he's worked his way up already.
Kanaan started back in 10th position.
Man, oh man.
Now Schechter finally uses that high groove to get a nose out in front of Dixon.
Yeah, Kanaan's up to 5th and working on Taylor, so.
Well, look at this battle right behind him, though.
Dixon and Schechter side by side. Schechter's not giving up. If he stays up there long enough and gets a little rubber work from the outside of that groove, he may be able to run up there where nobody else wants to run.
That's where the brave dare not go.
That's right. That's exactly
only Schechter and Hornish.
There's Taylor, Kanaan, Schechter, and Dixon. Vito Mira right behind them. So those guys all running right in tandem.
Oh, look at him work that steering wheel, Larry.
That's what I'm saying. Physically, this is a very tough place to run because he's working that thing. It's not just like turning the wheel and keep leaving your foot down all the way. They're out of the throttle. They're shifting gears, so they're busy all the time out there.
Kanaan has picked up 5 positions already. Weldon and Fernandez picking up 4 positions. But look at that, Masur Sharp losing 5 spots. Takagi's lost 4 spots.
Whoa!
And there goes Kanaan to the inside of Taylor, and he picks up the 4th position.
Yeah, he moved into 4th as Taylor looked like he just got a little loose, moved way up the racetrack, and Kanaan was right there to take advantage of it.
And is currently in the 12th position after he started 16th.
Well, he said he was very confident that he could move up, and he's moved up several positions already, so that's a good job by Fernandez.
You talked about them being in traffic. We had a caution on the racetrack, a caution already on the racetrack, the first of the evening.
Uh-oh. That's Alex Barron, who's made contact with the wall over there in turn number 2. So Alex Barron having trouble over in turn number 2. You can see pancaked it with the right-hand side of the car. So
we talked about that pit window, Larry, being 90 to 100 laps, but we also emphasized that with this racetrack there might be a number of yellows. And so that will certainly change the pit windows throughout the race. So the first of our yellows out early in the race for Alex Barron up against the outside wall. The emergency crew right there to help Alex out. He had a good race the last time out with that Chevrolet powered entry for Red Bull Team Cheever, but a short race for him this evening.
Yeah, he whatever happened, looked like he just got moved up the racetrack, got in there with the right-hand side of the car, tore off.
Well, while we're under this yellow, we'll take an opportunity to take a short commercial break. We'll be back with the green flag in a moment. Welcome back. This is the SunTrust Indy Challenge. We're under a yellow at the moment, and this is the reason why. Alex Barron just being tripped up by Kazuki Matsuura, the leading rookie in this series this year. It's only lap 12, and already the 3/4 mile circuit catching these two guys out. Not a lot of room there at that kind of speed. No wheels that steer on my wagon, and Eddie Cheever's Chevrolet Causes the circuit painters another long trail of black line around the white walls here. Paul Cherry, I think we're going to see a few more of these, aren't we?
Yes, as I said, the trouble is here it's very fast, very short. There's no room for error, at least at some of the other tracks. You've got a little bit of time to gather things up. Here you can't, you just run into people.
250 laps of this track, Christopher. I've got to say that it looks a little bit like a kart track to me. There are your the order after 16 of the 250 laps. Of course, they are still circulating around this racetrack at the moment, and we have now covered 16 laps in total. The yellow flag, well, we're about to see a green in just a little while, I believe. They'll get a bit of a wave on, and we'll know exactly what's going on. Christopher, I think we're going to see if it is a bit like a kart track compared with what we're used to, especially coming from Texas to this.
Well, that's right. I mean, we've come from Indianapolis, then to Texas's night race, and then here to the 3/4 mile oval at Richmond, Virginia.
Look at it, it looks like a bowl, doesn't it?
Well, I tell you what, it's quite an atmosphere inside those bowls. It's a bit like the NASCAR one at Bristol, Tennessee, which is unbelievable when you feel you're really crammed in and the atmosphere is tremendous. No, this is going to be a tight race.
We've got a black flag then, Christopher. These are live pictures, of course. I don't know where these black flags are coming from. Let's cross back to the track live and find out exactly what that black flag's doing out there.
Now, once again, under our first yellow of the evening for the Alex Barron crash after contact was made with Matsuura. We're still curious as why the wishbone suspension broke in the front of that car when it did not appear to have any contact. Contact was made with the left rear. You see Brian Howard has the yellow flag out. There's a look at Castro Neves. And the number 20 car of Patrick Racing, Al Unser Jr. in the pits. Unser with a quick pit stop under this yellow. Made a slight adjustment to the chassis, and he is away.
Well, I'm not sure what happened. They looked like they were just kind of looking that car over, but went back on the racetrack.
On the restart, it'll be Castro Neves, Rice, Hornish, Kanaan in 4th. Schechter is 5th now. Then it's Dixon. Vito Mir is 7th. 8th is Mark Taylor. 9th is Franchitti. 10th is now Herta. Then Eddie Carpenter, Fernandez, Takagi, Manning, Giafone, Matsuura, Foyt, Sharp, Weldon, and Ray will start in the top 20 positions.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Kanaan, now he's made a pretty good move up through there, but I think now that he's caught the really fast guys, Castro Neves, Rice, Hornish, those guys all three pretty quick. It's going to be a lot harder for him to get around them. Mark Taylor's back to 8th, so he has lost several spots here early in the going.
Hear from Alex Barron if we can, who was uninjured in that single car crash that was triggered with contact with Matsuura.
Bumped on the inside, put me in the wall. Really early in the race, really a shame because we had a really good car. I think we could have moved up a lot, so it's just a shame we couldn't get the Red Bull car up there.
You know, Larry, have you ever heard a driver get interviewed? They always say it's too bad we had a really good car. Have you ever heard a driver say, man, that thing was a tub of you-know-what?
That thing was a terrible race car.
It was junk. Before the crash. Now, you'll never hear that.
Now, but there's the car he had contact with, so we'll watch Matsuura to see if he did any damage to his car because he hit with the right front of his car. Look at Schechter.
Still on the high side of Kanaan on this restart.
And look at Hornish, he's on the outside. He's trying to make that second groove out there work.
And still stays on the high side, and here comes Schechter.
Boy, Schechter's just flirting with disaster out there. He's always working that wheel. He gets in the corner so hard he just can't get off the corner. Look at
that. Hornish got around Rice. The Penske cars are 1-2.
Hornish made that outside groove work, and that's something we've seen him do time after time, year after year. He really can make the outside work when nobody else seems to be able to.
Look at Schechter again on the high side of Kanaan.
And right there, that coming off of turn 2 is the toughest place on the racetrack because it flattens off so much, and he stayed on the outside there, so he's going to make the pass, which he did. If you can stay on the outside coming off of 2, or that transition from the banking to flat, it's very critical, and it's very easy to crash right there.
Well, Schechter won 2 years ago at the Michigan 500. has not found victory lane since then. He has led the most laps of a driver that has not won since that victory up there. In fact, he led the most laps at Indianapolis 2 years ago as a rookie before crashing. And look at the Penske cars. Now the gap closes down between first and second, but in doing so, they open up a gap over third place, Buddy Rice, and fourth is Scheckter, fifth is Kanaan.
Yeah, they've opened up a pretty good half a straightaway lead on everybody else, as Hornish has just chased down Castroneves.
Hornish looks like he wants to lead for a while.
Yeah, he's really chasing down. I mean, he's caught him pretty quickly, and he's got a lot down this back straightaway especially. It looked like he had a lot more straightaway speed, which means simply that he's getting off of turn 2 a little better.
Looking on lap 28 already. Castroneves has led all 27 circuits. He will lead circuit 28. But man, he's being pressured on the high side on his left side by his teammate.
Well, and those spotters right now are telling him what's going on. I mean, he's telling Castroneves he's on the outside, because certainly the captain doesn't want his two cars crashing into each other. That would not be a good thing.
Well, these two fought it out. Well, we understand now from timing and scoring from race control, there might be a stop and go penalty. Here it is for Matsuura right here, and that is for the contact with Barron.
Well, they felt like the contact was Matsuura's fault. You know, that I'm sure that Barron thought it was his fault. I bet if you ask Matsuura right now, he thinks that was an unjust penalty. But you know, that's the IRL does have a lot of cameras, a lot of different angles. They can look at that thing in over and over and over again. Obviously, they felt like he pushed up into the Barron and caused that crash.
Before we talked about that little stop and go penalty, I was about to say that these two Penske drivers fought it out for the lead and then the win at Homestead. And right now they're up in front and about to close in a little owl.
Yeah, it took them 34 laps to catch the lap.
We had that yellow though. We had that yellow.
That's right. So it's taken them a little while longer than I thought, but Al Unser Jr. really struggling big time. He's just not getting around the racetrack at all. Castroneves opens up a little bit right there during traffic.
Well, we saw that lead open up as we were watching that stop and go penalty. He pulls up behind Scott Sharp, a former co-rookie or co-champion of this league back in 1996. There's Greg Ray, the Access Motorsports number 13, the blue car. Now you're right on board with Scott Sharp.
Yeah, remember we go, and you can see right there, Hornish
goes on by on the inside, so the leaders now.
And Scott Sharp knew he was there. He got out of the throttle early, gave you plenty of room on the bottom side. Didn't want to get in the way. That was a very good gesture on his part.
So from here on out, you're going to see these guys in traffic. Kanaan took a look to the inside of Rice as they're stacked up behind the number 20 of the Al Unser entry.
Yeah. Schechter's moved into third. Rice is back to fourth. Kanaan in fifth. Oh!
Look at this, a squeeze play on the high side. We're going to have a lead change side by side to the corner, and yeah.
Well, I think Castroneves right there thought, man, my teammate wants that lead a lot worse than I do at this point of the race. I think I'm going to let him go.
Well, Hornish, after winning the opening race of the season, has had his struggles for sure.
Now there's Scheckter. He's trying to chase down the two leaders and appears to be doing so just a little bit as they're in traffic.
Hornish has finished 15th, 19th, 26th, and then the last outing finished 4th. So after a promising start, he struggled a bit so far this season. Heavy traffic all the way around this racetrack. You see Brian Howard with that move over flag. He's just kind of waving it as the field goes by.
He's going to get real tired of waving that thing before the night's over, believe me. Because
he's going to get a workout.
There's going to be plenty of lap cars in everybody's way out there. As Castroneves, once Hornish got around him, he's fallen back a few car lengths, but he's not that far behind, and I think he's content to run here in second place, at least for now.
Well, Sam Hornish did something no other Penske driver ever did. He won in his debut, and that's saying a lot when you look at the list of who's who in motorsports, the drivers that have driven for Roger Penske.
And he passed his teammate to do that, and I'm sure that you know, nobody wants to win worse than Sam Hornish does. Castroneves, he hated to lose that race, but he had to lose it. Nobody he'd rather lose it to than his teammate.
Herta is back in 9th position. You're looking back over his rear wing to the 10th position car. That's number 5 of Fernandez.
Yeah, so Fernandez has gained a couple more spots. Right now, though, looks like he's stuck just about back there in that 10th spot. Hadn't moved up much since then.
There's a 55 at Mitsura after he made that stop-and-go penalty. He's back in 20th position. And he is following Franchitti, who did not qualify at all well yesterday.
No, and Franchitti's not running very well either. He's near the back of the pack and really struggling here on this little tight bull ring type racetrack.
Well, here's a kid that is overdue for a victory. The most exciting youngster from Cape Town, South Africa. This is Thomas Scheckter.
You know, his driving style, everything about him is very similar to Sam Hornish, except he doesn't have the wins.
And he's with the same team that Sam found so much success with, the Pennzoil Panther organization. Sam Hornish pulls up on the rear wing of A.J. Foyt to put him a lap down, followed by Castro-Nevins, Scheckter, Rice, Kanaan, and Dixon.
Well, and here you can see Scheckter. He's coming up on that lap traffic.
That's Giafoni. Goes by him on the low side. We can give you a great view from the cockpit. There's no way we can show you or make you feel the pressures.
That's right. The feeling inside that race car, the pressures you're under, the G-forces you're under, the feeling of speed, there's just no way to transmit it. That's the one thing you cannot do in motorsports, is give everybody the feel of just how much at risk these guys are at every moment.
Look at this. Your leaders are nose to tail through traffic. They go by Unser again. They've cleared Foyt.
Yeah, and Schecter's catching up too. He's right there. See, he's the third car back there, the yellow car. So the traffic has allowed him to catch up, and he's way up there. He's 3 wide, and again,
he lost some ground there too.
He sure did. You can see the thing got loose on him, and he had to get out of the throttle. And that's
look at this. Oh, look how close they were in front of him. That's Foyt in the green and white car and Unser in the red car.
Yeah, those two guys racing each other is just exactly what he does not need.
Yeah, he's losing some ground now in that second place car. You can see right Castro-Nevins, but watch how high he gets.
Watch right here.
He's up in the gray stuff.
Yeah, he got way up there in the gray stuff, and he really had to save it there that one time. And that was a very dangerous place to be on that racetrack. The marbles could have sucked him right in the wall.
There's Takagi in number 12, Weldon in number 26, and the two Penske cars.
Yeah, once again, dealing with lap traffic. Look how much ground Scheckter lost, though, when A.J. Foyt and Al Unser Jr. were running side by side. He lost a whole straightaway to these guys.
Working on lap 53 now, the 250 scheduled.
Well, these guys have not didn't come in on that first yellow flag, so from this point on, if there is a yellow flag, all these guys will make a pit. If not, you know, they might run another 40 or 50 laps before they start making green flag pit stops.
If they don't have another yellow, this will be a real fast race. There goes Kanaan to the inside, and he gets around the number 15 through lap traffic. Kanaan and Rice having a little go out there, but Kanaan gets by as they were going by the lap car of Al Jr.
Yeah, Buddy Rice went to the inside, Kanaan went to the outside, and he had the momentum to beat Rice into the corner, so he took that position.
Well, this is a track where you're watching out in front, you're watching your mirrors, you're listening for your spotter. These guys just have to be totally wiped out when this race is over.
You're just so busy all the time.
So drained.
Look at Mira. Now he goes by on the inside. Herder Manning running side by side. Fernandez and Mira
right behind
now.
Mira. Look at that, 3 wide.
Just battles.
Herder goes down the middle and made it 3 wide. Well, they talk about rubbing being racing in NASCAR. These guys can't rub on each other, and they're so much faster than the NASCAR races here.
Well,
there's Herta again to the inside of Mira. Again, this Mira situation is he does not have a contract with Ray Hall Letterman. This is a race-by-race deal that they have.
Yeah, he just, you know, if he messes up or if he loses the ride, he's just gone. And he's really slowed down for some reason. Matsura's in for a pit stop, green flag pit stop. But something's wrong with Mira. He's lost several spots here in the last few laps and has moved back towards the back of the pack. He was
he's showing 8th right now.
Yeah, he's lost at least 2 spots right here.
Fernandez is up to 7th. What a great ride for Adrian. And there again, the Penske cars are still 1-2. First 36 laps were led by Castroneves. Then on lap 37, Hornish took the lead. 3 points are available for the driver that leads the most laps in an event.
Look at this, Sam Hornish lapping Dan Weldon. That's something that's not happened very often this season. Because
Weldon right now has led the second most laps, and he's second in the point standing. So after 62 laps, Hornish continues to be the leader.
Well, you join us back in the studio. The SunTrust Indy Challenge continues in Richmond, Virginia, but we're under our second yellow at the moment, and this is the reason why. Brian Herter tapped Darren Manning, and debris on the track at the moment, so they're going to go and take a little bit of a look out of what's going on. We can take another look at it here, and well, there it is. Just a little bit of a nudge on that front wing. That's enough to rearrange his aerodynamics. Paul's got his hand in the air. I should say, rather, Christopher's got his hand in the air. Yes, Chris?
No, the point being that the reason the debris is on the track is that this is the first time this year that the G-Force teams have used little end plates
you wanted to get
on the front
G-Force
wing.
plug in, that's what you're telling me.
Why not? Yes. But no, there are little end plates on the front wing, which if you remember at Indianapolis on the higher speed tracks, you've got very, very thin little front wings. Here they've got, in order to get the downforce, they've got quite big plates, and what got clipped there was the
quite big plate. Well, it doesn't help
and that's
when
lying around on the track. So it's now the opportunity for everybody to do regular servicing under yellow.
Marlboro Penske, and look at the tires. Look at the blistering on that left rear of Tony Kanan's.
Well, this new pavement, we said that they didn't have any trouble with the tires, but maybe they had.
Tire was blistered.
Yes, it was. You're right. So maybe that is going to be a problem. They're allowed 7 sets of tires for the weekend. Of course, they've used a couple of them up, so they probably each one got maybe 4 sets or 5 sets left, and now then either 3 or 4 sets left.
Well, and that was 70 laps, but not all of that was green flag racing. We had long yellow for the Alex Barron crash. It's a lot of tire abuse that we saw in that left rear. But keep in mind, at the line, look at this, and it was Hornish.
Wow. Castroneves had a great pit stop, almost beat him out, but that's one of the things about having that advantage.
You thought this was oval track racing. This is drag racing out of the pits.
Of course, there's a pit speed limit in there. If you go over 60 miles an hour, you get penalized, so they have to stay.
But if your pits are down toward the pit exit, you can drag race out.
Exactly. It is an advantage to be down there at the end of the pit area, no question about it. So
now let's talk about the Kanan tire situation, because we saw how hard he charged early on. That could be a factor in the tire wear.
Well, it
put some additional pressure and abuse on that tire early on.
Yeah, it certainly could, and we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out from here.
We still have emergency vehicles on the racetrack, so what we thought would be a very short debris yellow turns out to be a little longer than we anticipated.
Yeah, it is a little bit longer. Fernandez is up to 6th after that pit stop, so he had a very good pit stop, moved up a couple more spots. So Fernandez, we thought might be a little overconfident, some of the things he said before the race, but obviously he's backing it up now as he's come a long way through this field.
You know, I am reminded, Larry, when a lot of the European Formula One drivers came to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway back in the 60s. They didn't like the constant speed. They didn't like the walls. Now, can you imagine these guys that come from a road racing background on a racetrack like this?
Yeah.
Like Fernandez.
Yeah, I mean,
what a great job he's doing.
Yeah, this racetrack is intimidating. I mean, it's fast. The walls are very close. There's not a lot of room for error, and it can bite you. It can jump up and catch you real quick.
Only 2 leaders so far this evening. Elio Castroneves, after winning his first pole of the year yesterday in qualifying, led the first 36 laps. Then his teammate Sam Hornish took over on lap 37. We have just completed 74 laps under yellow. And after that pit stop, you saw Hornish just edge Castroneves out of the pits to maintain the lead. And so we will expect these other cars to move past the pace car. The pace car will pick up the leader for the restart. So Sam Hornish under yellow on the restart order will have the lead over his teammate. Schechter is 3rd, Kanan 4th, then Rice and Fernandez.
Well, Fernandez has come a long way from the back. 16
to
spots.
6.
So he's gained a lot of spots. He gained 2 spots on that pit stop. So not only is he doing a good job, but the pit crew doing a great job too, because they got him out of there very, very quickly on that last one.
Well, and tip your hat too, because he's also the team owner, and that's a tough position to be in, to be the driver and the owner.
Yeah, it's not done a lot in this series because it's so difficult to do. Eddie Cheever tried it for a while. He quite honestly wasn't very successful at it. But you know, you have so many things to think about. Michael Andretti, he tried to do it for a while, but
a lot on your plate.
A lot on your plate. So many things to think about. You know, besides that, you know, if you crash it, you got to pay for it. You don't like to do that very much.
Well, again, this started out to be a debris yellow. Wasn't sure what the debris was, what the nature of the debris was, and it's turned out to be a longer yellow than we had anticipated. It came out on lap 68. We've gone about 8 laps now under yellow.
Yeah, and the safety car is still out there. I think they must be looking for something. They've driven around there a couple of times, especially down there in turns 3 and 4, looking for something, and maybe they finally found it.
Will this track with the new surface change as much as Texas changed 2 weeks ago when the sun goes down?
It will, because the blackness of it. The blacker it is, the more heat it absorbs. So when the sun goes down, it'll get a lot cooler. So it should change quite a bit when the sun goes down and there's no more, the sun's not heating that black asphalt.
Should have the green flag the next time out. So you're saying we should see on this next pit stop perhaps a lot of wing adjustments.
Yeah, some of these guys are going to have to make some adjustments once that sun goes down. The racetrack is probably going to get a little looser than it has been.
Okay, we should have the green this next time by as Hornish continues to lead his teammate. And then it's Scheckter, Kanaan, and Rice on the restart as they complete lap 79.
It doesn't look like Scheckter got a very good start there.
No, Rice didn't either. Or no, that was Matsura that was back.
Yeah, Matsura is the car behind him.
So Scheckter now in 3rd position. Kanaan is 4th, Rice 5th, Fernandez 6th. Then it's Dixon, Herta, Manning, and Vito Mira back in 10th position. Good start for Hornish.
Well, Hornish is pretty much on the mark. He's done everything pretty well right. Tony Kanaan, Buddy Rice now looking like he's right back after Tony Kanaan after that last pit stop. He goes to the inside, and he's got the inside path.
And he takes that position away from
Kanaan. So he moves up a spot.
He moves to 4th. Now the lap car of Matsura, that kind of pink and blue, is right between 3rd place Scheckter and 4th place Rice.
And then look at Fernandez. He's staying right with Kanaan. He hasn't lost any ground back there. But Matsura seems to be running just as fast as the guys up front.
Matsura, of course, had that stop and go penalty, which put him back.
Yeah, stop and go penalty. Then he made another pit stop under the green. So he's probably a couple of laps back.
He's 4 laps off the pace right now, back in 20th position, but he's running as fast as the leaders.
Yeah, green flag pit stop will do that to you. It'll cost you a couple of laps anyway on a very, very short racetrack like this.
Plus, he had that stop and go penalty for what altercation he was involved with Alex Barron.
Right.
Put Barron in the fence.
Thomas Scheckter still hanging on to 3rd.
But he has not been able to close in on Castro Neves, who's in 2nd.
Dan Weldon still back there around near the back of the pack.
Now only 9 drivers, Larry, on the lead lap. Darren Manning is in 9th position. Keep in mind, though, with that yellow, that alleviated some lapping at that point.
Yeah, Greg Ray's moved up from 19th up to 14th, but he's still
lap off the pace.
Yeah, still lap off the pace. But you know, if you get running really good, you can get that lap back. You use your pit stop just right. And it looks like he was a little loose right there. The back end of that thing wiggling around a little bit.
He's working on the rear of.
Oh, there it wiggled again.
Got sharp. There's Manning and Herta.
Those two guys already run into each other once. And remember that Manning was warned quite sternly.
Manning hit everything at Texas but the pace car.
He certainly did. He had a terrible night. Now then we'll see as he gets by Herta this time. But they already made one contact here tonight. You don't want to have too many chances.
That was the battle for 7th position.
You can hear he's on the rev limiter down there. You can hear that engine hitting the rev limiter.
Pulls up behind the Purex car and goes by Felipe Giafoni. That's the car that is actually co-owned by Robbie Buell, who had been the driver but retired from competition right before the month of May.
Yeah, Tor Takagi's running around the inside of the racetrack. He's got a problem as he's way off the pace, it seemed like, as he was down there on the inside of the racetrack.
12 looks like he is having some problems.
Yeah, that was Takagi, and he's really slow now. Everybody's going around him, inside, outside. You could tell that last time when they were going around him that he's engine problem, something's going wrong, transmission trouble because...
White went by, there's Franchitti, there's Weldon. Here comes Ed Carpenter.
You're really just a moving chicane when you're that slow out there on this kind of a racetrack. Because this racetrack...
He's showing him the black flag.
Yeah, this racetrack is way too fast, way too congested, way too much going on out there to have somebody running that slow.
There's Herta back in the 9th position.
There goes Mira around Giafoni. Giafoni having a bad night too. He's not running very well either.
14-degree banking in the corners. Front straightaway relatively flat. There's AJ to the left of your screen. In the middle is Franchitti.
Yeah, we're looking
at Eddie Carpenter. Or that was the 24 car of Giafoni.
Yeah, we're looking back there in the position 16th, 17th, 18th, back in that area for those guys.
There's on board with Herta as we work lap number 96 of the scheduled 250.
Yeah, and Herta actually had the best qualifying time of any of the Andretti Green cars here tonight. Has had a very consistent run. Hasn't been able to challenge for the lead, but he has been very consistent in the top 10 all night long.
Well, I tell you what, they're not off the throttle very long, are they?
No, you're pretty much on the throttle the whole time. You get out just a little bit getting in, and both corners, and that's it. You're out and right back in it. Give it a little burp, we call it.
Back up in front. There's the gap between first and second.
Yeah, just a few car lengths. And
Here
Thomas
comes Scheckter.
Yeah, Schecter's been able to hang right there with him. He fell back about 10, 12 car lengths, and he's just kind of ridden right at that distance.
Scheckter had to clear some traffic.
Right. There's Takagi.
Once he did that. Rice is having a good run back there. There's the number 2 of Taylor and the number 11 of Kanaan.
Yeah, Kanaan having a little trouble getting around Taylor. He's going to lose some ground to Rice. Looked like he had just caught Rice, but now then he's fallen back.
More contact on the racetrack. I think we got a replay here. Watch this.
Well, this is Fernandez and
Manning.
Man, Manning is going to end up, if he keeps doing this, he's going to end up crashing that car.
They're going to find him for sure. They'll have another little set down with Mr. Manning because he was just into everybody at Texas. And he's made some contact this evening. And he's just incredibly lucky not to have been crashed out at
when
Texas.
you hit like that, you're going to climb over a wheel and get upside down if you're not careful. He's done that a couple of times.
100 laps now complete.
This July, as temperatures rise, so does blood pressure.
You and I have unfinished business.
Get away, you clone freak!
You there!
When do you want to die? Tomorrow?
It ends tonight.
Take that man below and clap him in irons.
I think that's an admirable idea.
The dark side of summer. This July with Sky Box Office.
If we think you're committing benefit fraud, we can come out and pay you a visit. If you claim you're living alone and you're not, we can check your bills. With our new powers, you could now end up with a criminal record.
Hello, Direct Line Home Insurance.
My water pipe's just burst. The carpet's ruined.
Morning, sir. Gentlemen, we've had a report in of some serious water damage. Activate usual procedures, sir. Absolutely. Cover the cost of repair and any damaged goods. Replace them. And deliver them to the door, sir.
Dash good thinking.
Okay, what we'll do is...
Call or buy online and you could save up to 40%.
He knows his every move.
Been tracking him for 2 years.
All he has to do
Am I gonna die?
is stop him. Jim Caviezel, Highwayman.
All right, can you grab the flag?
More summer at Boots, with half-price frames or lenses when you buy your glasses at Boots Opticians.
Live coverage as we watch Greg Ray. He was just lapped, and the leaders got so close, and now there may be a problem, and there's a yellow on the racetrack.
I think he might have got out and just barely touched the wall there. Those guys ran 4 abreast down the front straightaway as Castroneves tried to get under Hornish, and Hornish just wasn't going to give in. Man, oh man. And I think Greg Ray, they went around him. He got up in the loose stuff. I think he just went up and might have...
I think he had to slow down to catch his breath.
Yeah, probably did. I think he might have touched the wall over there coming off of 2, though. Although I don't see any white marks on his tires, so maybe not.
Well, the observers are calling debris on the racetrack.
Yeah, he just must have got high and scared us and him, I guess.
Right along with Darren Manning. Probably scared himself several times in the last couple of races.
He certainly scared me a couple of times already tonight.
Now watch this. Watch this.
And that's again.
This was earlier. This was.
Man, oh man, huh?
He's made contact with what, 3 or 4 guys so far this evening?
Yeah.
We're going to get him a stock car ride. He'd be good in NASCAR.
I'm not sure that was an earlier shot. I think that might have been another incident.
That's the second time he's got that right front wing
hit. I think it is.
By Herta.
By Herta, because that was coming off of turn number 2. That one was. So.
Let's put it this way. If this were a paintball game, he has shot everybody out there.
Well, we'll see now.
Pit stops.
Everybody coming back into the pits.
And I would think they'll have to make one more pit stop before this race is over.
Well, they may. But
they may be able to squeeze it out if they have another yellow or 2.
I don't think so. Yeah, if they have another yellow, I suppose.
13 laps of 250. I think they'll have to stop one more time. There's a quick stop for Schechter.
Remember, he's on clear at one end. See, there are the Penske cars, and he looks like he might.
Schechter picked up a position.
Yeah, I think Schechter picked up a position that time. So.
There's Herta. Oh, and he almost got hit by Fernandez, then almost got hit by Unser.
Boy, that's
that was an eventful pit stop.
Yeah, and that was not. He had a very bad position to be in right there. He tried to get out, missed the guy in front of him, and then missed the guys going by, and he didn't hit anybody. But boy, it was close. A couple of them came real close to him.
We saw a good pit stop though for the Pendleton Panther team.
Well, they've been pretty good at pit stops their whole career since they got into this sport. That was no exception. They got in and out very quickly.
It looked like Schechter picked up a position on the pit stop. But now we're showing. Scoring is showing Franchitti as the leader because Franchitti did not stop.
Well, Schechter.
This sort through here.
Yeah, all the leaders came in. It appears.
Race control is reporting raindrops, and Franchitti is showing as the leader. Race control reporting some raindrops. Now, keep in mind that 126 laps is a completed race.
Wow.
We've gone 114 right now.
So if they go another 10 laps, 12 laps,
it could be a completed race.
And it rains, they could call it a complete race, and he would win by virtue of not making a pit stop when everybody else did. Ed Carpenter stayed out too, so he's in second place. So, wow, what a turn of events that would be. Wow.
Now, right before that stop, both Penske cars were complaining of understeer, which is a pushing condition.
Right. So they probably.
Europe they say understeer, oversteer. In America, we're talking about push or loose.
Right, and they probably made some
adjustments
as far as tire pressure or maybe a little wing adjustment in order to.
Look at that, Castro-Neves.
Yeah, Castro-Neves won the battle out, and Hornish had trouble getting out of the pits for whatever reason. I don't know what happened, but Castro-Neves went by him, and so did Scheckter. So Hornish lost a couple of spots, 2 spots to be exact, on that pit stop.
Well, what rain has been reported is ever so light, because we look at the fans and I don't see a lot of action from them.
Now it doesn't appear that it's real heavy, so hopefully it'll just be a passing shower and go on, and we can get this thing going.
It's not even called a shower.
Yeah, just a few raindrops. Right,
a drop here or there.
Right, a couple of drops.
Maybe it just fell a couple of drops on the one observer.
That's right.
You're at lap 115. It takes 126 to be a complete race.
Yeah. So Franchitti's playing the odds, has the lead. Carpenter, remember, they can go probably to lap 150.
Watch this. Here's the action of the pits. As Castro-Neves goes by, and there goes Scheckter by.
See, Scheckter, for some reason, I don't mean Scheckter, I mean Hornish, for some reason, didn't get out of the pits very quickly. I'm not sure what happened, but when he pulled back out, he just didn't get up to speed as quickly as the other guys did, and ended up losing 2 spots.
So on this restart, it'll be Franchitti, Carpenter, Castro-Neves, Scheckter, Hornish, then Manning, then Fernandez, Kanaan, Herta, Dixon, Rice, Mira, Weldon. Well, they're showing Weldon back on the lead lap. Then, so we're showing 13 cars on the lead lap. Sharp in 14th position, the first driver a lap off the pace. So there is Castro-Neves restarting in the 3rd position. Well, there's a look at Pancho Carter.
Yeah,
who's the spotter for Thomas Scheckter.
And he's, of course, former Indy driver, won the pole at Indianapolis, won a lot of championships.
74 Rookie of the Year at Indianapolis. There's a look at the sky. Back on board with Darren Manning.
And you can see that it's broken clouds. It's not like a real ominous black everywhere.
Not what we had at Indianapolis in May.
No, it's some broken clouds. There's a dark cloud here and there, but it doesn't appear anything that's going to be threatening to stop the race.
Showing now 120 laps complete, 130 to go if we go the distance, but with the threat of rain maybe increasing now, a completed race would be 126 laps, or halfway.
Right. So
there's a look at Dario Franchitti.
Of course, Franchitti is probably the only guy on the racetrack that's hoping that it does start raining right now, because be his chance to get a victory here. And of course, I imagine Ed Carpenter wouldn't mind that all that much. As
he led 1 lap at Indianapolis and 28 laps at Texas. So before today's race, it led 29 circuits. They remain under yellow, the 3rd yellow of the evening. From Richmond International Raceway, the restart order showing Franchitti, Carpenter did not make a pit stop, as the rest did. Castro-Neves and Scheckter beating Hornish out of the pits. Then Hornish and then Darren Manning. So despite all the bumping and banging.
There you can see the few raindrops that are falling, and it's just enough that they can't throw the green. Hasn't really affected the racetrack yet.
Hard enough to throw the red.
Right. So, and obviously the longer they leave the race, if they leave the race cars out there, those hot tires and the hot engines and everything help keep the racetrack
circulates the air.
It helps keep the racetrack dry. Once you pull them off, then it's going to get wet a lot quicker. So until it really gets a lot wetter than this, they're going to leave those race cars out there and give them a chance to keep this racetrack dry.
You can see the ominous broken clouds above as you look off the back of Thomas Schecter's car, presently in 4th position. Now 123 laps are complete.
Well, we talked earlier about Thomas Scheckter and how similar he was in driving style and so forth with Sam Hornish, and how the big difference is he just doesn't have the victories that Sam Hornish has got. That 1 year at Indianapolis, if it wasn't meant for a very slight error on his part to put him in the wall,
he would have won it as a rookie.
Yeah, he would have won his rookie year. He had a great
mom always puts a group together. His mom Pam puts a group of his friends and relatives together to watch these races live in Cape Town. And I got him in trouble last year by saying he had that motorcycle. And his mom called him up and asked him about it. Well, I'm happy to report he no longer has the motorcycle. He sold the motorcycle.
Hey, we want to say hi to Ivan and Christine Junovich down in Auckland, New Zealand. While we got a little time here, they're big fans who watch us every time the IRL's on.
Are they the ones that invited us this winter to come down and spend a couple of weeks down there?
Come on down, they said.
Well, Southern Hemisphere, our winter will be their summer down there. It'll be nice and warm down there.
Exactly right. It's time to go.
We can avoid the Indianapolis Midwestern winter. 125 laps complete, working on what would be halfway. The next time by would be a completed race if, in fact, we got a heavy downpour that prevented them from drying the track and completing this race. There's one to Scott Dixon. Not having a good day. He led every lap here last year, but started 5th and presently is in 10th position.
It's kind of hard to imagine that a guy who had everything going his way last year, couldn't do anything wrong, he's really struggled this year.
He led 3 laps all season this year. Those were at Homestead, first race of the year.
Come on! We don't want to miss a ball!
And another season of the 2020 Cup is underway.
Too loud for you! They're whacking it about a bit, aren't they? And stop whacking, running, catching.
That's because they've only got 20 overs.
We call it bling-bling cricket.
Hi, Archie.
Dad, Darren, got
back one.
Life in the fast lane, Darren.
In association with Stan James, the 2020 Cup starts Friday at 5, Sky Sports 1.
Why is it that the better something does its job, the more we take it for granted?
Hello?
Hiya.
He knows his every move.
Been tracking him for 2 years.
All he has to do
Am I gonna die?
is stop him. Jim Caviezel, Highwayman.
And Healy gets the try.
Famous coach once said that rugby's all about inches, not feet.
That looks really good there.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It's coming along well. I was also fortunate to get some good advice about my hair loss from Advanced Hair Studio and regrew my hair with their advanced laser therapy program. So, if you want to get your hair sorted, talk to Advanced Hair Studios, just like I did.
Call Advanced Hair Studio now on 0845 600 8899. Call now.
This is the man who couldn't be bothered to go out to buy his lotto ticket on the day his numbers came up. Fortunately, however, he'd bought it through Sky Active. Make sure you don't miss out on your chance to win. Just press red to play Lotto now.
Restart order, 1 lap to go, but Larry, let's watch the rear of number 27. I saw some very definite smoke from the back of that car.
Well, we'll see. They may. I saw the same thing you saw, and I don't know whether he ran through something. I didn't see him putting oil dry down, but there was something coming out of the back of that car. You're exactly right.
Okay, so we're going to restart after a brief sprinkle. Lap 130 about to be completed after our 3rd yellow. And Franchitti is our 3rd leader of this race. Castro and Evans led the first 36 laps, then Hornish led from lap 37 through 114.
And Hornish is on the prowl already, looking for a way to get around Thomas Schechter. Oh!
Hang on, and there went Manning. Manning finally got the fence. And we say that only because of all the contact that he has had over the last 2 races. He's going to go back and tap the fence again because he's lost the steering, he's lost the brakes.
Yeah, once you hit the wall like that, the brakes are gone, and you're just kind of along for the ride. So if
I'm wondering if that right front wing finally gave out on him. It's been hit twice, and I'm not sure they've changed it in a pit stop. We never saw that.
No, he may be driving that thing back into the pits. I thought it was just rolling, but he's still got that thing under power, and he's going to drive it back into the pits. won't do him much good because they're not going to fix that thing.
But twice we've seen that right front wing get hit, both times by the number 7 of Herta.
Well, he went to the outside there. I think he just went to the high side, got wide, just got it loose, and once it got loose, he couldn't save it anymore. You know, he tried to steer it down, he tried to keep it off the wall, but it just wouldn't turn. And he got up there, he hit it hard enough that he spent the whole right. Let's see right here. He was on the bottom of the racetrack. I thought he was high, but you're right. He was on the bottom of the racetrack, and it just got loose on him.
Something caused the handling to go away. He was way down low.
Yeah, he was way down low, and once it went up high, he just couldn't get it, bring it back down again.
So you wonder if he left more debris out there by driving around the racetrack than having it stopped up there against the wall. Under our 4th yellow of the evening here at Richmond. Dario Franchitti will again lead on the restart with Ed Carpenter in second as the crew takes a look at the front of the race car, and they'll jack it up and take it back to the hauler and not make any attempt to repair it here this evening.
Yeah, not much chance of fixing that thing. The right front spin.
They're going to nickname him the Pinball Wizard. Boy, he's like the pinball.
He certainly made a lot of contact the last 2 races. It's hard to believe that he hasn't crashed. Oh, look at this. Rice and Mira in on this.
And Rice very slow getting out.
Well, this is lap, what, 134?
They should go well.
With a yellow or 2, Rice might be able to make it to the end. I don't know. That would be a very interesting scenario if he could. Because obviously everybody else is going to have to make at least one more pit stop. And maybe that was his thinking.
As you see, they're still trying to police the pit area. Manning and his teammate Scott Dixon comes in for his pit stop under yellow, and he is underway. Well, it will be interesting, Mr. Rice, if they can go the distance. If this race stays under green, it'll be very difficult, I think, to go the distance.
Yeah, it will be if it stays under green.
114 laps.
You know, these guys are just playing on. Scott Dixon knows the way he's running. He doesn't have a chance to win, so he's going to play the odds, try to get off sequence on his pit stops.
Top 5 finish, maybe.
Yep, and maybe use it to his advantage, and that's smart on their part. You know, if you don't think you've got a winning car, you've got to use some other strategies to try to win the race.
Well, on the restart, Franchitti will be your leader with rookie Ed Carpenter in second, then Castro Neves, Schechter, Hornish, and Fernandez. Let's go right down to catch Darren Manning if we can before we go back to green.
He just checked me and Sam up. Sam got out of it. He got a big sideways, and I was behind Sam. And just got a big sideways and then pushed up into the marble. So just a shame, really. Team Target and Toyota were doing such a great job. We had probably the fastest car out there, you know. So just a shame the last few races have just finished this way, you know. Just you take some chances and you get other people making mistakes that the race.
All right, Darren Manning.
I'd like to hold that tape for the rest of the season. On the restart, on the break.
Looks like Carpenter made his pit stop for that because he's no longer in second place. So now then Franchitti leads. And look at Hornish trying to get under Schechter. Schechter's not going to give up that position very easily.
Well, you got 2 of the bravest guys out there right now battling for position.
Both these guys are young, they're talented, they're tough, they're good in traffic, and right now it looks like though Hornish is going to be the guy that comes out on top as he gets down to the inside going in. Oh, Schechter doesn't give up that easy. He stays right on the outside. It looks like he's hung on to it. He stayed on the outside all through 1 and 2, and Hornish could not make the pass.
Here he comes again.
Exactly the same scenario we saw the last time. Let's see if he makes it work this time. No, yep. Thomas finally got out of the throttle.
So Franchitti continues to lead this thing over Castro Neves and Castro's teammate Hornish, and then Schechter.
Well, I tell you what, Thomas Schechter did a great job hanging on to second. Hornish, though, quite honestly, seems to have had the fastest race car here all night long. Whenever he's fallen back, he's been able to get back up front in a fairly quick fashion. Thomas Scheckter probably has got the second or third fastest car here right now. They're going to have to do a little more adjusting on it during the next pit stop if they want to win this race.
Working on lap 145 of the scheduled 250. There are the leaders and the gap between the two. Franchitti did not make that stop when everybody else made the stop. He assumed the lead. And on the restart had the lead, but then Carpenter came in and made his stop.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. He can probably go to about 170 in that area before he has to make a pit stop.
But by not making that pit stop then, getting out of sequence, if the yellow comes out now, he comes in with everybody else and gets right back out in the lead.
Exactly. And that's exactly what he's betting on. That's the reason.
There's Carpenter right there. Carpenter made that stop. He had been second. He's about to go a lap down.
Yeah, that's strategy is a big part of this game. You've got to use your pit stops and strategy to your advantage. And on a short track like this, Franchitti's crew knew that the only way he had a chance to get back in the front was to get off sequence. And you're right. If there's another yellow, they all come in. He's right on sequence with everybody else.
Carpenter came in just at the end of that yellow and went from second to 12th.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that. He was in a pretty good position. He had nothing to lose really by staying out there and trying to stay up in the front of the pack.
Actually, he is a lap off the pace. Timing and scoring showing Ed Carpenter now a lap off the pace. So he's about to go 2 laps down.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, because if Franchitti ends up in the top 5 and Carpenter doesn't, then it'll certainly show us that his Carpenter's strategy was not nearly as good as Franchitti's.
Well, I'm not sure when Carpenter made his earlier stop compared to Franchitti. He may have had no recourse but to make the stop. He may have been too low on fuel.
That's true too.
And there he goes by the inside, so that will likely put him down.
And Franchitti is doing a great job. I mean, he's holding off. He's holding off the three guys that have been the fastest all night long. I mean, the Penske cars and Scheckter have consistently been the 3 fastest race cars on the racetrack all night long. And right now, they can't catch Franchitti.
Well, we were concerned earlier before that restart about what we thought was smoke from the back of Franchitti's car, but apparently that was
yeah, it must have been something on the racetrack.
Anyway.
Yeah, it must have been something on the racetrack that he ran over and just looked like smoke, because it's never seen it again. Might have been down in the dust on the inside of the racetrack right before the green flag came out.
Right along with Thomas Scheckter, back in 4th position. Sam Hornish is 3rd, then Cas Renevitz, and your leader again is Franchitti. Franchitti took the lead on lap 115 when the yellow came out. The leaders pitted. He did not, and assumed the top spot on lap 115. Only 3 leaders so far today: Cas Renevitz, Hornish, and Franchitti.
Sky Movies is giving you the chance to take
juices up.
The SunTrust Indy Challenge from Richmond in Virginia, round 6 of the Indy Racing League, and it's the Scotsman Dario Franchitti that's leading.
He doesn't, you can't run much over 100 laps, I wouldn't think.
Scott Dixon is already a lap off the pace and looks to be ready to go 2 laps down.
Well, Scott Dixon went in. He made a late pit stop. He may be playing the odds and hoping with another yellow he can make it to the end without a pit stop. So different
still,
strategy.
if he's 2 laps down, it's tough.
True.
If the pit stops are under yellow, he has no chance. If they're under green, he might have a shot. Takagi now is out of the race. Wow. He was very, very slow. That was a replay, and he's climbed out.
Yeah. He's been running very slow for the last 15 or 20 laps. We mentioned that the last time we saw him on the racetrack. Extremely, extremely slow. Finally decided just to give it up. Look at Franchitti now. The outside of Dixon going into 1. Man, that didn't look very hard at all. He followed him for about 3 laps before he decided to do that.
And look how heavy the traffic is in front of him. He goes by Matsura on the inside. Now he has A.J. Foyt out in front of him.
Inside, outside, he worked those guys pretty easily, it looked like.
That's Scott Dixon right in the middle of Matsura, and is that Herta behind him, or is that
that's Carpenter?
Carpenter.
That's Carpenter behind him. Now then, here comes the two Penske cars, Castroneves and Hornish. Hornish trying to find a way around the outside of his teammate.
Back up in front with Franchitti, working on lap 175. 75 laps to go.
Well, right now,
there's Tony Kanaan right out in front of Hornish.
Yeah, so Hornish really on the move as Kanaan is he a lap down? He's got to be a lap down. Well, here's Scheckter. Let's take a look at a replay. Ooh.
Hornish got very high and had to backpedal, and there goes Kanaan by.
That's why Kanaan's by him. I didn't think Kanaan could have been a lap down, but couldn't figure out how he got by him. Well, that's exactly why I missed that. He got way up there, kept it under control, but was way out in the marbles and lucky to keep it under control, quite honestly.
Says, here comes Hornish again.
I gave it to you. I'm going to take it back.
And make it look relatively easy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, once he got out there, he just went right on around Kanaan.
Now he pulls up on the rear of Scheckter. Scheckter in third. Your leader is still Franchitti, then Castroneves, then Scheckter, then Kanaan, then Hornish. Herta is sixth. Fernandez is seventh. Then Weldon, Mira, Rice, and those 10 are on the lead lap. Then a lap down is Ed Carpenter.
And that's Dixon right in front of Scheckter. And Scheckter would like to make short work of him so he can, because if he holds him up, it could give Castroneves a chance to get around him.
Well, let's correct what I just said. Actually, I think there's 7 drivers on the lead lap.
Well, look at this. There goes Hornish by Dixon. So, and look at this. Here he comes by Scheckter. Boy, he gets a great run off of turn number 2. There's no question that he gets off of turn number 2 better than anybody.
Well, right now the fastest driver on the racetrack is Hornish in number 6. A slight bobble there by Scheckter. That's A.J. Foyt, the lower right of your screen there. No, that's the number 11, the big gulp of Tony Kanaan. So you look back from Scheckter to Kanaan.
Yeah, so Scheckter right now hanging on. He's in 4th, having having a good run, but just not able. No, what happened? Looks like Hornish got in trouble again and got wide, and Scheckter goes back around him again.
Now working on lap 184. So it's still Franchitti. Now we're hearing from the pit area that, oh, look at this on the inside. There goes Hornish, almost contact.
Wow.
Oh, they got so close.
Hornish got way wide again and let Scheckter get around him. And look at Kanaan now.
Now we're hearing from the pit lane that Franchitti will pit in about 10 laps.
Well, that's not unexpected. He was going to have to make another pit stop, and I quite honestly thought he might have to make it before now. So,
but as you said, they play the odds. That was the only chance they had to get up there at the top of the.
Look at this. Scheckter goes back to the inside of Hornish. Oh,
contact, and there goes Hornish to the wall. Hornish, he slides in between a couple of cars, almost contact again.
Man, oh man. That time, Scheckter just barely touched him as they went through that corner.
Now, can there be damage to Schecter's car?
Yeah, and was there any damage to
Hornish's car? Or did he just loop it?
Yeah, I think he barely touched the inside wall when he got in there, but I don't think he touched the outside wall as he turned that thing around. He's probably going to lose a lap.
Or more.
Yeah, he's already lost 1 lap, so it's going to put him pretty much out of the running. But I think he's wanting these guys to get him turned around so he can get restarted.
But you have to wonder if there's damage to Schecter's number 4.
Hornish, a couple of different times, had gotten wide and given guys a chance to get around under him. And he got, that's what happened again. He got a little bit loose up there, gave Schechter the bottom side of the racetrack. Schechter took it, but this time, you know.
Let's watch again, Larry. Contact between Schechter in 4 and Hornish in 6. Hornish kept coming down.
Yeah, it's so hard to tell, but it didn't appear.
It appeared that Schechter moved his line in.
It didn't appear that Schechter moved his line in. I was
look at this. Look at this. Whoa! Slides right down between them.
Very lucky right there. But let's take another look at it, see if we can see. But if you watch the inside tires, they stayed pretty close to that inside. He might have come up a little bit, but Hornish was
slight contact right there on the right front. Let's watch again. Now watch the well, you can't see it from this angle. Can't see if Schechter moves at all, but it did not appear that Schechter moved much off that line.
And you know, that's one of those things that is so hard to tell. I'm sure if you're Schechter, you think he came down. If you're Hornish, you think he came up. And on a racetrack like this, it's what you call one of those racing accidents.
Racing.
That's just racing. That's right.
There's the captain.
It's the sort of thing that's just going to happen. You can see there was just barely contact made with the side pod.
He's wanting to get going, and I'm not sure what happened there.
And then he, you know, and once Schechter got out of the throttle, once he hit the side pod, that's when he hit the left rear tire, because the tires stick out farther than the side pods do. And when he got out of the throttle, that's when the tire hit, and that's when
the pits are open. The pits are open. This could be the great advantage that Mr. Franchitti needed.
Well, it might be. It could be the victory for Franchitti right here. Wow, what a lucky break for him.
It was time for him to make his pit stop anyway. We're on lap 192 now. There's Schechter underway.
Now Schechter and the rest of these guys can short stop. They don't have to take on a full load of fuel. Franchitti probably will have to take on more fuel, so let's see what happens there. I think that was Franchitti that beat him out, though.
Yeah, but I don't think Castroneves stopped, did he? I did not see Castroneves down there. Well, now Hornish is back underway.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think Castroneves can make it to the end without another pit stop. I might be wrong.
Well, Dario Franchitti got the yellow that he needed to make that pit stop. And we'll sort things through here under this yellow as we get the feedback from timing and scoring.
Wow.
There's Hornish.
There's Ashley Judd.
There's Dario's dad. And there's Roger Penske. Well, now we're showing Dan Weldon as the leader on lap 194.
I think Franchitti was going back up there the side of Hornish for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Here comes Hornish.
Well, they're going to come in and at least look at the tires and make sure everything's on there and see if they see anything bent before they send him back out.
Yeah, he's 4 laps off the pace now.
Yeah.
So he, after that win, has really struggled. He finished 4th the last outing, but beyond that, he has really struggled this season. Well, after he won at Homestead, Hornish has finished 15th, 19th, 26th, and was 4th the last outing 2 weeks ago. And now he'll be 4 laps off the pace, but we'll be able to resume when we go back to racing after this yellow period. Hornish returns to the pit area in the 16th position. He comes back to the attention. There's the look at the Schechter brain trust right there. And now they're going to work on the front wing. The nose comes off. A new wing will go on.
Yeah, he must have damaged that wing when he hit the wall out there, so they decided to go ahead and put the new front wing on it. Well, when you're 4 laps down, you got, you know, why not?
Nothing to lose at this point.
Exactly.
16th position, 4 laps off the pace. Dan Weldon, Vito Mira now is in 2nd. Buddy Rice 3rd. Franchitti is 4th. And then it's Castroneves. So let's see if Franchitti has something for him now after this pit stop.
Well, I think that Buddy Rice might be able to make it to the end. He pitted very late. He pitted on 134, I think it was, or 135, around in there. And with these yellow flags, You know, can he run 115 laps? Could be. We'll find out.
Our fourth leader of the evening, Dan Weldon, the winner at Motegi. He is second in the point standings. Castro Nevis led from the pole position the first 32 circuits. And Sam Hornish, his teammate, took over on lap 37 through 114. And Dario Franchitti from 115 to 192. And Dan Weldon on this pit stop assumed the top spot.
Yeah, I'm not.
Weldon did not qualify at all well. In fact, he started back in 20th position, so he has steadily worked his way through the field with some good pit stops.
Well, and once again, you know, probably pit strategy. He's got nothing to lose by staying out there, trying to lead the race, trying to, you know, get some advantage by using some pit strategy because he has not run all that well.
Not sure why we're showing this car up in front.
Well, he'll go around.
That's Taylor, but they're saying the green the next time by. So Weldon, Mira, Rice, Franchitti on the restart. Live coverage from Richmond International Raceway, a 1.2 kilometer racetrack. And there is a look at the Klein Tools number 26, part of the Andretti Green stable, and that is Dan Weldon. There's the pit out.
There goes Franchitti. I think the real Rice is right there. It's Kanaan. Yeah, Schechter's barely beat Kanaan out.
Well, I'm wondering though if they're gonna have to put Mark Taylor back.
Well, he's passed. See, he's passed the pace car. They always let the leader of the race is always the car right behind the pace car when they throw the green flag. There's never any lap cars at the front of the field, and I think that's a good policy. I think they've done the right thing there.
That just did miss Hornish. That is Scott Dixon. And once again, here is Herta.
Look at this.
Herta, where's he going to go?
See, Herta just he made the right choice at the right time. It's an instantaneous choice at the speeds those guys are running. He saw him heading for the inside. He got on the brakes and went to the outside.
Well, 12 lap yellow. We're about to go back to green as they'll complete lap 200. We'll have 50 laps of racing here in Richmond. Off to Kansas next week on July 4th on Sunday afternoon. Vito Mira is in second position. He's in a position for his best finish ever.
Buddy Rice, he's going to lose that spot. Castro Nevis went around. Buddy Rice
got trapped in behind Greg Ray.
He had a little indecision right there. Decided to stay down to the inside, and Castro Nevis, there was no indecision in his mind. He went right to the outside and blew them both away. Blew him and Franchitti both off.
Okay, up in front, Weldon in a position to win his second race of the year. This would be the fourth win for Andretti Green. Kanaan has won twice.
If Castro Nevis wins this race, he just won it with that pass right there, because while both Franchitti and Buddy Rice were down there trying to decide which way to go to get around that lap car, Castro Nevis just went to the outside and went around both of them. Absolutely a quick move, a brave move, and the right move as it turned out.
Well, we talked earlier about Vito Mira having a race-to-race deal with Ray Hall Letterman. A second-place finish could solidify the rest of his season.
That's right. I believe, though, I got to believe that he's going to have to make a pit stop. I think Weldon will have to make a pit stop before this is all over. So remains to be seen if they can run.
But again, if the yellow comes out, they all pit together.
Yep. We'll see. I'm not sure exactly what the last time was that Weldon pitted, so he may be able to stretch it out. They're willing to gamble anyway. We'll find out.
Well, it all depends on yellows. It all depends on yellows. We've had 5 yellows so far this evening, and 4 different leaders.
Vito Mira very quick as he's following Weldon around there. So Schechter was a big loser back there. He's falling back to 9th spot. So for whatever reason, Thomas Schechter not running very well after that last pit stop.
Ed Carpenter got back on the lead lap during that last yellow, as did Scott Dixon. Now Scott Sharp in 12th is the first driver not on the lead lap. There's a good look at Vito Mira. Lost part of last season with a broken wrist. So soon as he got his arm out of a cast last year, he jumped on a go-kart right away and went karting to get his strength back in his wrist.
Well, being 4 laps down is not bothering Sam Hornish very much. He still tries to run on the outside of Herta and gain that spot.
Herta is in 7th position, so they're not actually battling for a position there because, like you say, Sam's 4 laps off the pace, but he's still running the high groove. Not a whole lot of room up there, but he's, look how close they got. Look how close those wheels got.
Man, I don't know. You know, when you're 4 laps down, I'm not sure it's worth taking those kind of risks to try to get around the guy. Get around him, it's self-satisfaction, but it's nothing more than that.
Back up in front, there's the gap between 1st and 2nd. Officially, it's about 3/10 of a second.
Only about
10, 12 car lengths.
Yeah, not very many car lengths back.
Here comes Castroneves, though. He's beginning to apply the pressure to the back of Vito Mira.
Yeah, Castroneves has been one of the quicker cars all night long. Right now is no different, and he will get up there and apply the pressure, I'm sure.
Now you're looking back at the 6th car of Sam Hornish, who after contact with Thomas Scheckter and a long tow back to the pit area lost 4 laps to the leaders.
That's
right now he is just as fast.
Yeah, and that's Fernandez back there behind Hornish. He's in 8th, and Scheckter in the yellow car back there in 9th. Those cars all running for position. Of course, Hornish is not.
Hornish, the last lap, was the fastest driver on the racetrack.
Not a surprise. As he's been very quick all night long, even with that slight brushing of the wall down on the inside after he spun. Didn't seem to bother the handling on that race car, and he's still extremely quick.
Last lap, Dan Weldon was the quickest, and Hornish was 2nd fast, despite running right behind the number 7 of Herta.
Well, we'll see.
In front, now you have Mark Taylor out in front of your leaders. He stays to the high side. Weldon goes by. This is lap 218.
Vito Mira, the 2nd spot. So both these guys with an excellent chance to win this race, all depending on their how long they can go without making a pit stop.
Michael Andretti pacing the pit area.
Yep. I'm sure he's kind of walking between car to car to see what the fuel situation is in each one of his cars and what they have to do to get to the end.
Well, he has a car leading. He has a car back in 5th position. He has a car in 7th position.
There's Castroneves, still running very strong, 3rd place.
Yes. Let's recap that, recapitulate just a bit. Andretti Green now with the leader. They have 5th place, 6th place, and 7th place for the top 7. And they didn't qualify all that well.
No, they didn't. They qualified Weldon.
Poorly, actually.
Yeah, Weldon was way in the back.
Well, Weldon started back in 20th position.
He's used the pit stops.
Franchitti was in 12th.
And he's used the pit stops to his advantage, which he should have. Now he's going to have... Oh, the yellow flag? Yeah, yellow flag. I thought he was pulling into the pits, but it was for a yellow flag. Looks like
Taylor.
Mark Taylor's one of the cars. There's another car appears to be up the racetrack a little further. It is. It's Franchitti.
Uh-oh.
Franchitti and Taylor made contact, obviously, when Franchitti was trying to lap him. Remember that Mark Taylor was the first car lapped, and we saw Mira and Weldon get around him. Castroneves obviously got around, but then Franchitti had a problem. And he's very frustrated. You can see the little hand motions there saying, what in the heck are you doing, boy?
Well, Franchitti's car apparently is not damaged. He wants to get refired. Wants that tow to get that car going again.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Saying, come on. Uh-oh, look at this. Scheckter.
Well, we said Scheckter had fallen back. We said Scheckter had fallen way back. He was back to 9th. He'd been running in the top 3 all night long. Obviously, the problem is terminals. He's pulled in. So, man, a lot of changes happening right here in the last
well, we're on
50 laps of this race.
2:24 right now. We'll have 25 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line as Thomas Scheckter walks away.
Yeah, very
trying
upset.
to get the 27 car going.
Tough break for Schechter. Tough break for Franchitti, too.
Well, these guys don't have onboard starters, say, like NASCAR. Let's watch again. Here's a replay.
Yep. Again, one of those situations where you couldn't tell.
Oh, and those cars almost got together right behind them. Did you see the other two?
I think Schechter did get into somebody. Watch the back of your screen.
The yellow car?
Yep. And right as it goes past, right there.
Right there.
Right there's the contact to put him out. That was Fernandez and Schechter that made the contact.
Here you're riding along with Taylor. There goes Rice, and there's the contact with Franchitti. You notice exactly what Taylor did. He got both hands off the steering wheel, brought the arms back toward his chest.
And look at Schechter here.
Here's the contact right there.
Broke the left front. Look at the left front corner. Broke the left front upright.
Now you're on board with Herta. Here's the contact right there, the initial contact. Look at Herta. Oh, and he almost gets together with his teammate on the left side.
See, and that's how quickly things happen. Man, oh man.
Taylor's still taking some time climbing out. And there's a look at Schechter.
And the SunTrust Indy Challenge will come to an end. We'll of course go with that live in just a moment, but first we want to have a quick chat here in the studio. Still with us, Paul Cherry and Christopher Tate, of course. Well, it's all happening, isn't it? Our 6th yellow there. We find people all over the track. Try and decipher this one for me, if you like. A difference of opinion here in, well, we'll call it pit lane at Sky Sports, because Mark Taylor looked to me like he was dropping down on Dario Franchitti, and Franchitti didn't have much room. But Paul, will you take a slightly different view? Do you want to amend your view? Or?
Not yet, no. I think, you know, Mark obviously was on the higher side. Dario was trying to nip underneath him, but if you watch Mark now, he is turning in on the line, so to speak. He's let that car go through, and he came down, and Dario's just got up behind him.
Well, that wasn't all of it, was it? Because then Sam Hornish got into Fernandez, and here we are. Hornish, it all happens. Fernandez comes up the track, and poor old Hornish has nowhere much to go, except back into pit lane with a bent front left.
We'll call Hornish Schechter for this evening, if that's all right.
Oh, shall we do that? Sorry, yes, it was, of course. Yellow cars and Sam Hornish Jr., you see, it all goes together for me. Schechter it is. It is getting late. Mark Taylor, then, we decide that it was his best qualifying run of his life.
He'd obviously had a problem, Keith, for some number of laps with the handling problems. He was dropping further and further back, and it may be that was what forced him to take a rather different line to everybody else.
If I can interrupt you right there, we can hear from Thomas Schechter now and actually get the lowdown on what happened with him and Fernandez.
Let's see if we can.
He just got caught in a yellow, and two cars touched each other, and I was on the brakes and hit someone. Another unfortunate result. I have to thank Pennzoil and Chevrolet. They really needed a good result, and we looked like we had the car to do it, but, you know, we'll come back next race.
Real quick, take us back to what happened with you and Hornish.
We were going side by, we're having a great race, going side by side, inside, outside, and we're passing each other, and then I think one of the times he went around the outside, I thought I was right down on the yellow line. We touched. That's what happens when you race that close, you know, a little bit of rubbing.
Well, we figured that Hornish was not at fault as far as was at fault, I should say, rather than Schechter. We can go back now to our green flag, because we're in the closing stages of this race, and we will join our commentators back at trackside.
Probably do now because of all the all flag laps.
We'll go back to racing as they complete lap 233, 17 laps to go. Let's see what Vito Mira has for him. Let's see what Castroneves has for him.
Well, you can bet if there's anything left, they're going to turn it up now, because this is just a 17-lap dash to the end. There's no holding back from now on. And it appears like Castroneves is struggling to keep up as Buddy Rice challenges him on the inside.
They almost get together.
Wow.
And that's Scott Sharp out in front of them, who's a lap off the pace. And here comes in the mix, but 4 laps down, is the number 6 of Hornish.
Well, Castroneves finally won the battle, but Rice gave him one heck of a shot on the inside.
That took away probably any chance he had at running down your 2 leaders. There's Kanaan on the back of his teammate Herta. That's the battle for 5th spot.
Yeah, those 2 guys battling pretty hard with each other.
Still back up in front. There's the gap between first and second.
Wow, we talked about Dan Weldon, how poorly he qualified, how poorly he ran all weekend long, how poorly he thought his car was handling. And when it comes down to the end, they used the right strategy and put themselves in the position to win this race.
How many times, though, have we seen Roger Penske do this, that he's won a race for his driver with pit strategy?
Absolutely. Vitor Mira the same way. He was not in the top 3 most of the evening, but down here near the end, when it counts, he's right there.
Lap 238 now complete. Working lap 239. Right along with Scott Sharp. Sharp is 3 laps off the pace, back in 10th position.
Well, Mira's right now doing everything he can, trying to find a way to catch Weldon, but Weldon appears to have enough speed to hold him off, as they're both pulling slightly away from Castroneves. So Dan Weldon and Vito Mira, with very good pit strategy, it appears are going to bring home the victory.
Depending on where Tony Kanaan finishes, Dan Weldon could in fact take over the top spot this evening. He was 35 points behind Tony Kanaan.
Well, and it's just another reason that you never give up in auto racing. You never say, well, this is just a bad weekend, we'll just go out there and ride. Dan Weldon didn't do that, his crew didn't do that, his team didn't do that, and therefore they have a shot to win this race. And right now, it looks like Castroneves all of a sudden has turned the whip out.
Here's Castroneves. After having trouble getting by the lap car earlier, he has really closed down on, he's pedaling real hard right now.
Yeah, he's holding his breath and going for everything he's got right now.
Up on the rear wing of Vito Mira on lap 243. 7 laps to go. He might get Mira, but I don't think he can get by Weldon. Is the yellow coming out? That is Eddie Carpenter, very, very slow on the high side. Will this bring out the yellow, or can he get that thing off the racetrack? Can he get it off the racetrack?
Oh, I just don't. Get down now. No.
Doesn't have time. I mean, they're spread out all the way to the right. Yep, there's the yellow.
Yeah, he's just not going to be able to do it. Tough break.
And that should seal the fate right there.
Yeah, I don't see how.
Maybe if there's no debris and he's back under power apparently.
I think he's hit I believe he brushed the wall. It looked like white tire marks on the side of that thing to me. Like he got up and.
Let's take a look again.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide. He goes
to the Greg Ray.
Well, maybe he didn't. I thought he got up and.
But remember what happened that last race when there was some contact and he stayed out there and ended up hitting the fence? This may just be a precaution. He wants to make sure that car's all right.
Yeah.
There's Michael.
Michael, I wonder if he's worried about the fuel or just worried about being worried.
Well, we could have a 2-lap dash here. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? 1 lap to go at the line.
Well,
they're going to have a 1-lap shootout.
1-lap shootout. Let's see how brave Castroneves is.
They'll get the green the next time. They'll get the green the next time by.
Green and white.
They'll have 1 lap to go. The green and the white will come out together.
Well, I don't believe anybody's going to get around him, but look at Castroneves.
Look at Castroneves. There's the white flag, the green flag, 1 lap to go. There goes Castroneves. He gets by Vito Mira. And he's pedaling real hard down the back straightaway for Dan Weldon.
Now, not going to get it done. Dan Weldon.
Weldon's going to win it. Castroneves comes back to take 2nd. Vito Mira is 3rd. And so Weldon picks up his 2nd victory of the season and the 4th for Andretti Green.
Well, you got to give those guys a lot of credit. That was a lot of strategy.
We are wrong on that deal.
What a night it turns out to be then. Dan Weldon of Great Britain comes from 20th place on the grid to win the SunTrust Indy Challenge in Virginia. And that is a remarkable outcome for Team Andretti Green, and celebrations for the 26 car. This is Dan Weldon from Emberton, near Olney in Buckinghamshire. A fantastic night then. They'll be dancing around the clock tower there, that's for certain. So Dan Weldon then takes his second win of the year, and a well-deserved win it was too. So that's it then from all of us here on Sky Sports for round 6 of the Indy Racing League. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. What a fantastic finish then from Dan Weldon, from 20th place on the grid, gentlemen. Still with me, Paul and Christopher, of course. I mean, we did actually speculate right at the beginning of this show whether it could be done from 20th place on the grid. Paul, in the end, Dan Weldon coming up trumps.
And as I said, it'll be a very interesting race with lots of strategy calls, and that's exactly what happened here. All those yellows played right into Andretti Green's hands.
And at one point, it looked like the other Andretti Green man, of course, was going to do it. Dario Franchitti, luckless in the end.
Luckless in the end, yeah, but Michael's really, you know, it's interesting to see there that he's got all the sponsors' badges on one shirt. He's juggling a lot of features, and he must be really pleased with his young British boy. Dan's done a great job.
Well, according to my reckoning, Dan Weldon has closed in a little bit on Tony Kanaan, but Tony Kanaan still leads this championship at the moment. He's in a good position, isn't he, at this point?
He's strong, he's consistent, he's always there, again, fourth tonight. You know, I mean, he's just going to be hard to beat.
So another great finish with the Little Richmond Oval yet again proving to be a challenge. Currently it's a very busy time for the league with another race coming up next weekend. That's the Argent Mortgage Indy 300. You can see it live here on Sky Sports Extra next Sunday, July the 4th, and that's at 5:30 p.m. But that's it for this week. My thanks to my guests, Paul Cherry and Christopher Tate. And of course, to you for watching. We'll leave you now with some of the best action from today's SunTrust Indy Challenge. Bye for now.
Is just the story about Ulrika.
As long as she doesn't sort of chat incessantly for 24 hours.
Two controversial celebrities, 24 hours together, alone in a penthouse. What will they have to talk about?
Was it one punch or what was it?
It was a slap.
It really suited everyone for a big staff due to be branded greedy.
It's bulging out there, isn't it?
Bulging terribly.
Stan and Vanessa get up close and personal in the celebrity penthouse tonight at 10, Sky One Sunday.
Like a sheep that's lost from the flock of love. I lost you. Yes, I have. Like an ice cold hand without a glove. I'm so blue. Yes, I am. Now that I'm here without you.
The new KFC Mini Fillet Burger, just 99p.
What do I wish for on a cloud?
When my dad had cancer, this woman helped him through his chemotherapy.
Without this woman, my brother would have died from serious stomach injuries.
Without that man, my sister would have died during heart surgery.
Do something amazing. Give blood.
I'd like to introduce you to Claire, who's just joined us.
Hi, I'm Steve. The canteen's not great, but it's much better than your hair.
Right, come on.
How do you expect this thing to work with hair like that?
And this is my PA, Lisa.
Next time, sort your hair. Getting paranoid about your Kingston frizz? New Sunsilk Instant Transformation for silky straight hair. Thank you. New Sunsilk for silky straight hair. Experience the intensity of the naughty bitter truffle. New Magnum Intense from Walls.
Hi, I'm here about the room.
Come on in.
Hey, hi, I'll show you around. Kathy,
Hiya.
trainee chef. Won't let anyone else cook.
Ugh, cheap flick. Football legends!
I'm afraid you're stuck with the box room. Balcony.
Carlsberg don't do flatmates, but if we did, they'd probably be the best flatmates in the world.
When a mouth ulcer pops up, Bongella's triple action helps kill germs, reduces swelling and relieves pain. Don't put up with it, sort it with Bongella.